Saw a report from Usyk's team saying that they're talking to Zuffa. Did you guys see that? Let me tell you what.
I did, yeah.
That, again, not an up-and-comer, but if they get Usyk, I mean, this is all happening a lot quicker than even they predicted. They're talking about like up-and-comers. Usyk, Jaya Pataya.
Yeah.
You know, Dana said in an interview that I saw yesterday, maybe with the TMZ guy, like in 6 months, I'm going to call Terrence Crawford. He doesn't believe that he should be retired. Like, now you're talking about 3 of the very best fighters on the planet.
Yes, but my confusion at all this is my understanding ahead of time was major boxing fights with the biggest names, one-off events, and then building the league format where we have guys locked up under contract. I don't imagine that an Usyk, Crawford, Jaya Pataya is cool with just like, I want to fight the people on the Zuffa roster and only the Zuffa roster and win the Zuffa belt. Like, they don't seem like that level and that caliber of boxer. So I'm confused at what the arrangement is going to be and how they're going to acquire these athletes. It sounds like Jai's already signed, but then his manager is coming out and saying, no, he's going to unify belts. And I'm like, well,
that
how?
stuff is a little bit funny.
Where is all this? How is this all coexisting? I don't understand.
Is there someone told me their theory, which was like, he's going to win all the belts and then he's going to bin them, right?
Under the Zuffa banner, he's going to then go out and do it?
Yeah, first of all, that's going to take a year or 2 to win all the belts, right? And number 2, why would any of those sanctioning bodies, why would any of them put him in a fight?
Correct.
If they know he's going to put their belts in the garbage can.
Yes. The whole Zuffa thing was we're going to revolutionize boxing. Right. No more belts from these sanctioning bodies. So why, if I was a sanctioning body, would I put Jaya Pataya against one of the champions holding one of those belts? I'm confused about how this is all going to work because I wouldn't have thought these would be the names. Usyk in a fight maybe as a one-off, but like Usyk signing with Zuffa doesn't feel like what I was imagining before. So
but
I don't know.
If you can sign him,
oh yeah,
sign him.
Of course.
How many fights do you get out of him though? 2?
I mean, still, you're still getting him. Look,
then you get 2.
By the way, you put those fights on Netflix. Netflix wants the big fights. They have the ability to make big fights. Like I think they're going to try to do AJ Fury on Netflix and be involved in it. And these are the
Zuffa is, you're saying?
Yeah.
What's their involvement?
What do you mean?
On which side of that fight?
They're just putting it on. Riyadh, AJ's tied to Turkey. Tyson's no longer tied to Top Rank. Let's go.
So the
We're putting it on. Dana's there, takes credit for it. Other people are paying, and you know they'll have to work with other people. Just like Canelo had his own little team, and Terrence has his team. But they're trying to put on the biggest events and be attached to the biggest events. So I think there's going to be a little bit of that and a little bit of what we're seeing this weekend.
I get what you're saying, but would that not be Matchroom and Queensberry, like or Top Rank rather? How would they get into the equation?
I don't think Tyson is with Top Rank anymore, and I think that they would just cut a deal. Every man has a price
with Tyson,
and they would be the promoters.
Yeah. All right.
Nick Khan did the Top Rank deal with ESPN. He knows all of this very, very well. He is very, very, very clued into the boxing scene, and I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see more of these guys like Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason, all those great young Top Rank fighters. They don't have a home, and they can keep like putting them on other cards, but at some point that's going to come to an end. And those are perfect guys for Zuffa boxing. You know what I mean?
Those are the guys who I thought would be the roster for Zuffa boxing. Those guys make sense. Once you start getting to Usyk, Tyson Fury, that's where I'm like, how's
the worst thing you do for now is count these dudes out. Like they should not be counted out. The only thing that we could say is like the messaging is a little funky. But again, as I said yesterday, I think this time next year we'll have a much better sense of who they are and where they're going and what they're doing. But I'm not going to sit here and count them out. It's the freaking Avengers of fight promotion coming together. Yeah. WWE and UFC, they have their producers working on this as well. It is not going to fail anytime soon. It could fail in the long run. They have immensely deep pockets. They've got the platform. They've got the ability to put shows on Netflix. They've got the ability to cross-promote. It would be shocking if it failed anytime soon. And by the way, right now, sorry to interrupt, but right now, it sounds like they're about to get the Ali Act stuff over the line. Yeah. What timing, right? 2 days before their debut.
But this is my confusion and why I'm not understanding the strategy, right? I'm with you. I would never count them out because there's too many bright minds when it comes to this and too many people who have been successful in the combat sports space. But if you're doing fights with Tyson Fury and Usyk and all these fighters, let's say Terrence Crawford, Jai Apataya, and you're like, yeah, you can go fight, for other people's belts. You're allowed to. If you're the fighter who's signed to Zuffa and they're like, nah, you got to only fight for our belt, why would you accept that? Why would you go enter this world? It doesn't make sense.
I think
it's like with the UFC. If they started all of a sudden saying, hey, you can go fight PFL fighters,
yeah.
Why would anybody ever just only fight for the UFC?
I think Dana White is going to walk in there, and these guys are going to walk in there and sell them on this dream that this is the future. That you don't need these guys that are going to try to mooch off of you and take a percentage. We're not going to do any of that. Come fight here.
But why am I doing that when this guy at the top is allowed to go fight whoever he wants for whatever
you're not
belt?
that guy.
Yeah, you're not that guy. You got to pay. Calmosh can't say shit.
That feels like a hard sell to me, because then you could just go to
No, because
Eddie Hearn.
by the way, one day you will be that guy.
Yeah.
Like.
But I mean, we see it in the UFC. Like, yo, you're not Conor McGregor. You're not
can't
John
fight
Jones.
Floyd.
Yeah, we see
can't
that
do
in the
these
UFC
things.
because the UFC doesn't allow the biggest names even to do that. There was one exception, and it was Conor McGregor, and it's never happened since.
Yeah.
If the exceptions here are Usyk and Terrence Crawford, there's not much you can say.
Man, I'll just say, like, I do not doubt Zuffa boxing, but if I was Eddie Hearn, if I was Frank Warren, I'd be licking my chops at the idea that they're going to try to pull that wool over people's eyes. I'd be ready to take everybody in.
That's what makes this so interesting, because I think they are licking their chops, and I think Eddie's
you're
down
going to
to
treat
scrap.
them like shit while the top guys get to do whatever
By
they
the way,
want? Come to me.
There are 2 American entities without a TV deal right now.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
And they're like vultures just surrounding them. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
I know
but
what
like,
you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
they're up for grabs, and everybody can get into this game.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.